Back to the next one. Leona and Diana. Diana, Indiana. The sun and the moon. The sun goddess and the moon goddess. Let's see what we have in terms of lore here and how it changes later.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Targran, and I'm here to present to you yet another episode of Lore of League of Legends. We have a much requested pair of champions to cover: Leona, the Radiant Dawn, and Diana, Scorn of the Moon.
I love that it says like they're requested, but it's like, bro, you're just gonna cover all the champions anyways. There's no need to say that they're requested.
Enjoy.
Oh!
Mount Targon is the highest peak of Valoran, visible from far away like a monument to the nature's power. Its slopes are inhabited by tough people of tribes known as Rakor. Stalwart men of the tribe adore combat and war as the ultimate form of art. They live and breathe every day just for battle. Each member of the tribe is prepared to be disciplined, vicious killing machine, worth at least a dozen of Noxian or Demacian troops. Amongst their population, a small group inhabits the very peak of Targon Mountain. They call themselves Solari. Members of the group have retired their mantles of war, instead dedicating their beings to reverence of the sun, like their founder, a legendary warrior who might call on might of the sun upon his enemies. Following his orders, they maintain Solari.
Okay, so they do have Targon in the old lore. It's not on the map.
Temple at the peak of Valoran's highest mountain, the closest anyone can get to the sun. Despite their devotion to the tradition, however, there was no one who could call the raw might of the sun like the legendary Solari founder did. That was, until Leona had emerged from one of the Rakor families. The parents of Leona were born under the unfriendly slopes of Mount Targon, and they never knew an easy life. They trained every day not to fall out of shape. There was no place for luxury, just plain, difficult life of a true warrior. Their biggest goal was to train their daughter like they were trained before her. But Leona was a problematic child. She had as much potential as any other child, but she did not share their passion for bloodshed. Leona always believed that true worth of a warrior lies in their ability to defend others, and not mindless fury, alike to beasts. Each child who had reached the age of 16 had to undertake a rite of core, a ritual where they'd been paired with another of their tribe and forced to fight one.
Isn't Diana and Leona like childhood friends or some shit? But then Diana said like she doesn't want the power of the sun, she wants power of the moon or something.
Another until death. The winner was allowed honor of wielding relic weapons of his family. This is a brutal tradition, but Rakor understand why it's necessary. Only the fittest are useful to the tribe. Others just waste limited supplies of the village.
Fair enough.
Leona had entered the arena like she was meant to, where she was to face against one of her friends. She knew him well as weak points of his fighting style. He was slow and often made mistakes while moving. She knew exactly where to strike to knock the boy down, and she'd easily dodged his attacks, pushing him back and standing him above him. People watching the trials cheered for Leona, awaiting for her to finish her core, but she just stood there, staring right in the boy's eyes. She did not want to kill him, but according to the rules, someone had to die. She spotted her own parents, shouting in excitement, as well as the father of her opponent, ashamed and sad.
Oh wow.
She shook her head and hurled her sword down onto the ground, refusing to execute the boy. She realized...
I mean, some brutal fucking... How old are they here? Holy fuck.
Realized what her punishment would be, but she took the risk. It shocked the crowd just as much as it did the boy. At the arena's entrance, she had already been awaited by soldiers who were meant to bring her for her own execution.
Oh wow.
The only punishment that the Rakor used. Leona had been brought before the executioner, where she had been informed about punishment she was about to receive. Without a word, she accepted it, staring into the sky as she awaited the final blow. But it never came. When the executioner had risen his axe, the blinding pillar of sunlight struck right at the plaza where Leona's execution was taking place, blinding everyone around her and forcing them to move back. When the lights had faded, she could see dozens of faces frozen in fear and awe. The elders of the tribe had been shocked and terrified by the display. They had changed their decision. Leona was to be spared for now, until one of the Solari could decide her fate. Solari had arrived in the village soon after, alerted by the pillar of bright sunlight that had struck it. The situation was being explained to them as Leona still awaiting the decision. She was then immediately invited to follow the Solari onto the peak, where she was to join their group. She was gifted with the golden armor of Solari and given the right to wield the weapon and shield of the first Solari. There she started her training, using ancient tech she had found.
Do you think like they put the test of to see if people would actually kill other people, to see if like someone will break that rule, to show like to show character of how would you say it, like gracefulness? It was an evil test to find good people. Oh.
Found a way to call the power of the sun at will and control it. Like the legendary sun warrior, she was now chosen of the sun, and her task was to bring its radiance to anyone on the Valoran. Once her training was complete, she left the Targon Peak to join the League of Legends and show the true power of the sun to everyone.
It's like for no reason. It's like fuck it, I'll just go to Institute of War to show off.
Diana was born to a pair of Solari parents, and just like other children, she was meant to follow in the footsteps of her parents, caring about the ancient traditions. But she was always different. While others just accepted their faith, Diana was more inquisitive. She always wanted to know more than she was told.
Okay, so Leona was like born to like a regular family, right? And like that village she was born in have this tradition of like, you know, having this deadly duel to decide who gets to live, kind of thing. Like only the strong survive. The Solari are the divine, right? Like the ones who live on top of the mountain, who are like already up there. And their daughter is Diana, and she's the one who's like, I don't want to be a Solari. Interesting.
At first, it was a welcome sign. It was good to see an acolyte eager to learn. As the time passed, however, Diana knew everything she could about the sun's glory, and she was still hungry for knowledge. That's when she started to watch the world around her. She's found solace and guidance in the night sky, full of stars and grace and
ignorance is bliss.
The moon. She started questioning the sun's dominance, asking for reasons. She believed the elders would listen, if she provided enough evidence.
Nah. If you question, means you doubt.
They did not, and they punished Diana for her heretic ideas and forced her to never talk about it again.
Yep.
At first she'd ignored it, returning for more answers, but time after time she'd been sent back with even more punishment that had tortured Diana into a bitter loner who'd spent most of her days buried deep in Solari archives, reading one scroll after another. In one of the ancient scrolls, Diana found an encrypted sentence marked with the sigil of a moon. It took her days, perhaps even weeks, to encode the full meaning of it, but it was a discovery that could change her life. If the clue was right, there was a cavern somewhere on the mountain that had held an ancient temple that the Solari wanted destroyed. Diana was not going to pass an opportunity like this. She left the Targon Mountain's peak following the clues that she had. There was not much detail, and her search was not an easy one because of this. And yet, due to her spirit and determination, Diana found a way into the temple she wanted to find. Exploring it, she'd found many faded murals, ancient relics, but something much more interesting as well. An ancient armor and a crescent blade, both inscribed with sigils of the moon. She picked up both armaments, packed them carefully, and returned to the elders, eager to finally prove them wrong. She claimed that those artifacts were proof that the cult of the moon once existed, and she was not the only one who found its grace. Instead of giving her credit for the discovery, elders were furious. They pronounced her to be a heretic and ordered Rakor soldiers to dispose of her immediately. In a moment of despair, Diana started begging the moon to help her. The lunar power surged into her crescent blade, causing its runes to start glowing with faint light. Diana's anger and sorrow had overwhelmed anything else. She just wanted to be free. She wanted to get rid of those who sentenced her to death. She used the power to shatter the binding that she was held in, grabbed the sword and rushed forward, slaughtering every elder that was seated in front of her.
Goddamn, bro.
And upon exacting her revenge, she used all the power she could to gather to turn Solari.
I mean, it wasn't really revenge, because nothing has been done to her yet, but yeah.
Temple into ruin. She now travels across Valoran, looking for those who are willing to accept reverence of the moon, to bless them, and those who deny her faith, to show them how mistaken they might be. She has one more goal. A woman named Leona had been blessed with the power of the sun, like Diana was blessed with the moon's guidance.
Yep.
She means to face Leona and end the sun's dominance. Is she capable of such a thing? Only time will tell.
Oh god. Is this a fucking... Is she capable of something? Of course not. Otherwise there would be no Leona. It's like Leona died in canon. Oh man.
And that'll be all we've prepared for you this time around. If you enjoyed this video, please let us know by pressing the like button and leaving your feedback in the comment section below.
Okay. I had some details wrong, but it's like I knew there was like that connection between the two to an extent. I thought they were friends that kind of fell apart because the belief changed, but apparently not. Alright. That's cool. That's Leona and Diana. We'll go to the next one.